Let's work another energy problem, a work energy problem, number 12. And I want to use my pause button. Okay, so when you see the pause button up, then you will pause the video and you will do something, and then I will help you do it after that. Okay, so that's how you learn. You learn by doing. The problem says a hydroelectric power plant works by damming up a river and then letting the water fall down to convert energy using electric generators, but you don't have to worry about that. Suppose the dam's 10 meters tall and has a flow rate of 10,000 kilograms per second, and then the generator is 50% efficient. What power can the dam generate? Okay, so what I want you to do is to draw a picture, write down everything that you know, write down any assumptions that you have, and then write down what you're trying to find. So do that and we'll check it. So go ahead and pause. Okay. I kind of already drew a picture because I just wanted to get started. So let's say that's a height h, and then the water starts up here and it comes down there. So what do I know? Well, I know the flow rate. I'm going to call that F of 10,000 kilograms per second. I also know the height of 10 meters. I know my gravitational constant, G, is 9.8 newtons per kilogram. I know the density of water is 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter, but maybe I don't even need that. I don't think I do. Now, what am I trying to find? I'm trying to find the power. And so the power, I'm going to write that as the change in work, or the work done over per time, right? Remember, we define power as the rate of change of, it wouldn't be the change in work, it'd just be work divided by time. Okay, so once we have that and what we're looking for, the next thing that we need to do is to pick our system and what kinds of energy that we have and what work is done on the system. So I want you to choose a system, choose your types of energy for your system, write an expression for the work done by that system, and then write the work energy equation. That's a lot, but that's the bulk of the problem. Okay. Pause. So for my system, another assumption that we're going to make is I'm going to assume that the velocity up here is 0 and the velocity down here is 0. Which isn't quite true, but that's fine, right? We're imagining that water comes down and we're going to get all the energy out of it, except for the 50%, which lost to heat or something like that. So the system is going to be the water plus the earth. So if those are my systems, I can have a kinetic energy term, 1/2 mv squared. I can have a gravitational potential mgy. Now, right away, when you write down that gravitational potential energy, you should say, okay, I need to pick where is y equal to 0. I'm going to pick down here at the bottom. There's no wrong answer. That's just where I'm going to pick. Now, the next thing I need to think about is the work. You know, you could say work is F delta R cosine theta, but I don't really know the force. But if I have my system of the water and the earth, and if some of that water goes down, but it's not moving at the bottom, something had to do work on it, right? And that's that work I want to calculate right there. I want to calculate that work, okay? So I don't know what that is. I want to calculate that. So that's my system. That's my types of energy. What I want you to do is, there is some tricks here, okay? I want you to write down the work energy equation and put in everything you know and solve for what you don't know in order to get that power. There are some tricks. I want you to struggle with that. That's how you learn, okay? So write down work energy equation and see what you can do to find the power. Work on that. That means pause. Okay, so there is a little bit of a trick here because I have water continually flowing down. So let's just say I want to look at something like delta t equals 1 second. And it doesn't really matter. It's just delta t. Okay, 1 second. In 1 second, how much mass goes down? Well, in 1 second, m is 10,000 kilograms. Because it's 10,000 kilograms per second. So in 1 second, 10,000 kilograms. So with that, I can say work is going to be the change in kinetic energy plus the change in gravitational potential energy. That's going to be K2 minus K1 plus U2 minus U1. There's only one non-zero term there. We already said the water starts from rest, 0. We already said the water ends at rest, 0. And we picked the y value at the bottom was 0, so U2 is 0. So I have work is going to be negative mgh. That's the initial position of it. So that's the work done on the system, and we want that work in our power equation. So it's not too hard now. I can go ahead and plug in what I know. Let's put this mass at the flow. I'm going to write it as the flow rate. This is actually the flow rate times delta T is the mass. If you want to think about it in 1 second, that's fine. GH negative. So there's my work done. Now I can calculate the power. Power is going to be the work over the time interval. And look at that. It's actually going to be negative, right? Because we're doing the work done by the water. This is the work done on the water. So it's going to be F delta T GH over delta T. The delta T's cancel. Or if you put in 1 second, you'd say multiply by 1, divide by 1. Now if I put in my numbers, I get 10,000, 9.8, 10. And then that's it. So let's calculate the power. That's the total power. And then we're going to multiply by 0.5 because it's 5% efficient. So the efficiency is 0.5. I didn't put that down earlier. Okay. So let's just plug this in. I get 10,000, 1, 2, 3, 9.8 times, 10 times, 0.5 times. And I get a power of 4.9 times 10 to the 3, 4, 5, 10 to the 5 joules per second, which is 4.9 times 10 to the 5th watts, or 0.4, or half a megawatt. That's half a megawatt. And there's your answer. Okay, and again, in real life, the water's not going at 0 speed down here. If it was, you couldn't get any more water coming down. Okay. Number 2, I think the fun thing to think about is, well, where does the water get the energy? And why is there water up high that goes down low? And the answer is the sun. Because the sun shines down on water, that water evaporates into the sky, and then eventually rains down. So how does it get up high? It gets up high because of energy from the sun. So hydroelectric is solar power, just for fun. The end.